welcome back. This is the Future Proof podcast. It's a place where we have conversations with business owners and entrepreneurs about where they've been, where they are, and where they're going. And I'm really excited to have a special guest today, Claudia Duffy from Sapphire and Silk Travel. Claudia, good morning, and nice to see you.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. And I love that you have an environment, a workspace in there that helps, I imagine, facilitate just being in a space of conjuring up joyful travel experiences. You know what I mean? You've designed a nice environment for yourself, which I respect very much. That's cool. It's nice to
Thank
see.
you. Yeah, I just felt a need to express myself in a way that reflects my business.
Yeah, I love it. And I guess even what are some of your earliest travel memories? That first got you excited about it just as an individual.
Well, interestingly enough, like my very first time on the plane was I was 4 months old, traveling internationally.
Okay.
So it started there, although I don't remember it. But as a child, we were very fortunate in that my parents traveled a lot, and we're from
Mm.
Brazil, so we got to travel back and forth internationally quite often because of that. And I just enjoyed it. I loved it. Like my favorite smell at the airport is airplane fuel. I just love it.
Okay, I love that. I love that. And you know, in terms of your professional life, how long has this business been up and running for
So
you?
it's fairly new, just over a year. I'm a retired x ray tech, and I was looking for something that would fulfill something that I was looking for. I just felt a kind of like, where am I going to go next? What am I going to do next? And about a year and a half ago, I went on a cruise, and it just completely changed the trajectory of my life. I decided there and then that I wanted to do travel for the rest of my life as a career. And I just loved the sense of wonder and excitement and just the way I felt on this trip. And I thought it would be so amazing if I could help other people feel the same way. And I know travel is a joyful thing for most people. So it's something I just wanted to share with others.
No, I love that, and you're right. I mean, I think the idea of travel being sort of a joyful thing on a universal level that's easy to
Yeah.
accept. There is this other side of it though, which can be anxiousness and worry. Especially if you're on the planning side of the equation as opposed to just a traveler kind of in tow. Um, did you find yourself being somebody that had experienced that as the end user, or have you always enjoyed, being? Were you the person that was the planner in your household and stuff
I
like that?
was actually, yes. And I actually love planning trips. I'm very detail oriented, so I love getting into the nitty gritty and all the details and just making sure everything is perfect. I've always been the planner, and I actually really enjoy that. I know some people do not, fair enough, but that is one of my strengths for sure.
Well, no, and I think I'd seen an article of yours, that was pointing to statistics around people still having a sense of uncertainty or unease, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, that I think gets alleviated. And I got a taste of that as an end user, right, working with you directly,
Yeah.
where I am somebody who has that same affinity for crawling in and planning the details. But there's something to be said for working with a professional that has your
Hmm.
back, because there is a part of the excitement that comes from being out in the world, I suppose, there's like that vulnerability that goes almost hand in
Mm.
hand, that you are in new environments and new places, and there's less of a sense like I sometimes feel, admittedly, like I'm simultaneously really curious to explore far away remote places, but there's also this notion that, like, well, what if I needed help, you know what I mean, like, and I'm not, and I'm so far from home, and I'm so far from the people and resources that I'm familiar with. I mean, do you find that to be a reason why people come and work with you?
Well, it is. That is part of the reason. Because the services I offer are like from beginning to end. Before, during, and after travel, I am available to my clients. So if there is an issue or a problem comes up, all they need to do is call me, text me, let me know what's going on, what's the problem, and I step in and I facilitate a resolution to that issue. It can be scary to go to unknown places that you've never been and not knowing what to expect, and then running into a problem and not knowing where to turn. Well, that's my job. That's what I take care of for you. So that's one less problem you have to worry about in the back of your mind about the what ifs, because I'm your answer to the what if.
I love that. Have you ever had an experience as an end user that called attention to the need for that?
For myself or for
Yeah,
clients?
or for a client, either
Yeah,
one. Yeah, I'm just curious. Stories
I did
that.
have a client who had issues at the hotel not having hot water. They did not have hot water at the hotel. So I
Uh-huh.
went in and took care of it, and got half their money back. They also had issues with Wi-Fi
Amazing.
on a cruise ship, and I intervened and they got half their money back for that. So there's things that I can do on my end that can help, things like getting your money back or getting a better experience, maybe an upgrade or something. I have supplier relationships that I can tap into that can help me get these things that clients could not directly get themselves. Yeah.
And that idea of not only having, I say, steady hands and guidance, but you're actually directly taking the reins at that moment to be sort of run point and um take that off their plate too. So it's not even something where they have to so much as go stand in the lobby and
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Wait in a line of people in order to voice their complaint, and because again, even as you're saying that, I'm going like, yeah, I've definitely had an end user experience, and it's not that it, like, totally ruins the vacation, but wow, what a luxury that is, to be able to have somebody to tap in a moment like that.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to jump back, Claudia, for a moment though, too. Because one of the things that I heard inside that sort of, you're on a cruise ship, you have this light bulb moment.
Hmm.
You do have some experience and background in mindset and coaching work as
I
well,
do,
yeah?
yes. I'm a certified life coach and Reiki master healer.
I love that, and I think that there is synergy there, just as far as the way people can have notions like that,
Hmm.
right? Have a moment of clarity. And I dare say that one of the more common reactions you hear about is people start kind of backpedaling away and talking themselves out of that thing, you know?
Yes.
And I find it really exciting and worthy of acknowledgement when someone has developed the skills to be able to know what to do next, right?
Absolutely.
And because much like, describing this literal vacation that somebody's taking, there's this overlap there, even as far as somebody starting to daydream, right? They have a fantasy that is starting to form in their mind, and there's a gap now between that fantasy and bringing it to fruition. And I think that in life in general, let alone in travel, but in life in general, um, there's something really powerful to having a partner in the boat with
Oh,
you
sure.
for what you. So I think it's exciting to see that you nurtured the skills in that one area, and how that not only lets you apply it then to for yourself, seeing that and then going, I'm going to bring this vision to life, but how that also helps you serve clients as
Yes.
well. You know.
Yes. In fact, one of the projects I have going forward is I want to do hosted women wellness group cruises. And I
Mm.
want to be a part of that experience for the end user, as a life coach, as a healer, so that they can get that relaxation that they're seeking, or they could get their aha moment, or whatever it is that they're looking for, and maybe not even know what they're looking for, and discover that, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize like I was feeling this way, or that I needed that, or that this was happening to me. So yeah, people are interesting creatures. Change, people are afraid of, for obvious reasons, because it's the unknown, and people prefer to stick with the known. But there's so much to be said about the unknown, and diving in and just discovering amazing new opportunities in your life that you otherwise would not have had.
I love that boldness, and you and I happen to have met in the BNI world. You know, the networking circles, and um, there are a lot of people that come in and give voice again to the idea of finding public speaking intimidating, getting up in front of a room full of people and talking, even for those quick commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And I admire the degree to which your boldness has extended into that space, that you are always memorable and performative in an exciting way, right?
Yeah.
That you you're captivating in terms of your presentation and speaking, and your obvious passion for the work. And again, it's another thing where I don't know that you know, you talk about having a background as an X-ray technician,
Mm-hmm.
into the coaching stuff. Like, I'm not sure where along the lines you gained such public speaking, you know, confidence as a performer. Did you have some other life on stage that you've kept from us?
I'm a theater kid. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Wonderful.
Yeah, I love theater. I've performed front stage, backstage, every aspect of theater, and I absolutely love it. But to have a career in it is challenging, to be honest. But I really enjoy it. It's just something that I've always loved. And whenever I have a chance or opportunity to do it, I do. And it's just an extension. The
Wow. I
BNI commercials are just an extension of that for me.
That's delightful. I genuinely didn't know that. It's like, you know, something like asking about the coaching business. I've sat down and talked to you. I
Yeah.
know that you did that. I had no idea that you had a theater background
Hmm.
or that side of it, but that totally makes sense, and I love that. So, and I want to jump back again to what you were describing on the women's retreat
Hmm.
side, just to even clarify what hit my ears is that you're describing a scenario where it would be almost like a conference, right? That people would attend, but it would happen to be on a boat. You know
Yes.
what I mean? That's
Yes.
so are there situations where you have access to conference rooms and stuff? That must be an existing thing. Just like any hotel, this is a floating hotel.
Hmm.
It's got the same sort of, you know, accommodations, and you can create a real customized experience to facilitate those moments,
Yes.
and then kind of be there to for that moment. Again, it's like when you were on the boat and had that aha
Hmm.
moment. even as somebody who has those skills yourself, how cool would it have been to have a room full of like-minded people to immediately start brainstorming, right?
Absolutely. It would have been amazing because just the support from other people is just you can't you can't get it on your own. You know what I mean? And you can bounce ideas off other people and they can help lift you up. And that's kind of what I want to do for others is help lift them up in their dreams, in their aspirations, or whatever it is that they're seeking or feeling. I mean, it's just a group of women together. There's just nothing like it. You know, we just have an energy of our own. And there's just so much I could tap into a group of women to facilitate an amazing trip, which excites me.
Well, I appreciate there's, oh, to get jargony about it, there's the end user
Yeah.
customers, right? And then there's, as we discuss in B&I, referral partner relationships. Who are you trying to meet right now? Who are the best introductions and ways that that vision can really come to life for you right now?
Well, I mean, really anyone, like photographers would be a great referral, event planners, trying to think. And even people who do nonprofit for autism, because autism travel is another one of my niches that I am into. I have a son with autism, and travel was very hard for us when we were doing it when they were small because my husband's family is overseas, mine is overseas. So when we tried to travel, it was very challenging. So that's nonprofit is a great referral as well. I mean, people who are just looking for an experience. I'm not just planning a vacation, I am planning an experience that will enlighten them, that will fulfill them, that will give them joy, something that they can't get from from a staycation per se. You know, staycations are, oh, what am I going to do in the house this week? You know, what am I going to get done? Traveling outside of your comfort zone, there's so much possibility there. And that's what I just love about travel. It just takes you out of your comfort zone and presents you with all of these amazing opportunities to experience things that you normally would not. And in turn, create these lifelong memories that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. So, yeah, I love it.
I love that. Did you find when, on the coaching side or elsewhere, have you tried talking, like, I think of big corporations do plan company retreat type of things. You know what I mean? And what you described would to me be in alignment with things that, um no, you described a specific vision of women's retreats, but I could envision, for example, any number of organizations that wanted to take a sales team out on,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? A combination sort of team building, reward trip sort of thing.
sure.
Yeah, are those like HR managers typically that would be the planning people for bigger companies that like put those things together and would be the best point of contact, do
Yeah,
you
that
think?
would be for me. Anybody who has the lead on planning those kinds of things or instigating those kinds of trips would be a good referral as well. Yeah. So I'm pretty open to referral partners right now, but yeah, I'm just trying just to get my since I'm just a year into the business, just a little bit over a year, I'm still finding my footing per se and finding my
Good.
way, but I'm getting there.
Well, and absolutely, absolutely, and with that in mind, when you think of the future, whether it's from your background in coaching or whatever,
Mhm.
like I'm curious how far down the road, your vision extends. What are some of the the shots you want to call in terms of things that are on the horizon. What are some of the achievements that if I checked in with you 5 years from now, you could tell me, I did this, and I did this. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Yeah.
So the women's group cruises, as well as all-inclusive resorts, is another place I'd like to do the groups. I would like to do at least two a year, one in the spring, one in the fall, ongoing, just rolling every year. That to me would be a great achievement. I would just love, and for it to be hosted by me, of course, and with other partners as well in that space. I would like to tap into the autism travel a little bit more, to be able to help families be able to travel where they think they can't because of their individual loved one that has these challenges. I would like to be able to say that, yes, I actually helped this family travel in peace. Or if there was an issue, that it could be easily taken care of, quickly taken care of. I want to be that person that can help that family have that experience and be like, oh my gosh, thank you for helping us realize that travel is actually possible for us. And that just, oh, that would be amazing for me.
I love that. I love those goals. I could see how when you were describing that, I was honestly going to this sort of role being reversed, right? Of going, I could see you having your show, right, where you're regularly interviewing female business owners and entrepreneurs in particular, as a great way of cultivating and nurturing those relationships.
Yes.
Even as we're, talking candidly and being recorded, I don't mind saying that I love how this sort of dialogue affords me the opportunity, whether it's with people I know like you or people I'm meeting for the first
Yeah.
time, to have something other than talking about my products and services to engage with people. You know what I mean? And I could see how, for what you're describing, how having that be one of the asks or one of the initial like door openers could be really powerful, especially coupled with again, what a vibrant, bold personality you have, that I think I could see all of those roads intersecting in terms of the way YouTube and podcasts and those platforms allow people to, the word influencer gets
Oh, yeah.
overused, but to me, all it ultimately means is someone who's recognized as a subject matter expert in a particular niche and has cultivated an audience around that niche,
Yes.
right? And the idea that you could really dominate either of those spaces, just I'll use those two examples of looking at autism travel experiences or the broader sort of special needs
Yeah.
travel experiences, and how to facilitate and make that easier and smoother experience and give people excursions that they perhaps thought would never be available to them, and really open people's eyes up. I can see that that cause is important to you, and I love the idea that you could be like the voice in that space. And similarly, the idea of combining the love of travel with the coaching and
Oh, yeah.
mindset and strengthening and empowering fellow female entrepreneurs. Well, whether they are female business owners is, I suppose,
Right.
irrelevant, right? You just want to strengthen, give a group of women that forum to, as you did in your own life, you know what I mean? Have a place where the mind can, I don't know, I guess be ready to receive. You know what I mean? Receive and form those new ideas. So I'm just very excited to see the journey taking shape for
Thank
you.
you. Sorry about my dog.
Oh, don't sweat it. Don't sweat
Like,
it.
no, don't bark. Yeah, there he goes.
Well, I really appreciate
Yeah, yeah.
it is absolutely. I really appreciate you taking some time. So best places to find you right now today. There's the sapphire and silk travel.com is the domain
That
name,
is correct,
correct?
yes.
And also find you on Facebook, find you, where do you want to
I
be
can be
found?
found on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, my website. I have a TikTok account, but I'm still trying to navigate how that actually works. It's for the young
Sure.
people, I think, but I'm not afraid to jump in and see how I can make myself seen and heard. But yeah, I'm working on that.
Absolutely. We should get, if you don't have one already, like again, things like Facebook
Oh, I
group, you
do
know what
have
I
a
mean?
group. Yes, I
Going.
do actually. Yes.
Uh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking some time today, and I'm excited to touch on what we described, to like, have you back on in a couple years
Yeah.
where we can reference, this conversation and be like, hey, tell me about, those twice a year excursions and how they're going,
Yeah.
and it'll be a present tense discussion uh about what you've accomplished since this moment.
Yeah, I would
So
love
I
that.
can't wait. Awesome. Well, Claudia, thank you again so much, and I will see you in real life
Yes.
tomorrow. But for listeners out there, go find Claudia. I love working with her. I love being in the group with you and getting a chance to see you shine every
Thank
week.
you.
So I appreciate you sharing your time and your bold, vibrant energy with our show.
Well, it
So
was
thank
my
you.
pleasure. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely.